Dear students, good morning to all of you.
Good morning, Father.
So we are very happy to have you today for another session in grammar, namely sentence and parts of speech. They are connected to each other. Therefore, we will start with what is a sentence. Sentence is a group of words that give complete meaning, the full meaning. Any group of words which doesn't give full meaning is not a sentence. So that's the meaning here, sentence. Now sentence has two parts, subject and predicate. Now subject means doer of the action. One who does the action is called a subject. That which verb refers to, that which the verb refers to is subject. Now we may think that subject should always come in the beginning, first. Ramu is studying. Who is the subject there? Ramu. He is studying. So is a verb. That verb refers to Ramu. Therefore Ramu is a subject. We think that subject should come only in the beginning. It can come in the middle also. Subject can come in the middle. Subject can come in the end also. So we need to discover where is the subject in a sentence. Now here comes the bus. Here comes the bus. Where is the subject?
Last
Bus is the subject last, because bus is coming. Therefore, is refers to, that verb refers to the subject. So doer of, or the verb is connected with the bus. Therefore, the subject can be in the beginning, middle, or anywhere in the sentence. Need not come in the front or in the beginning only. With that knowledge, we will proceed to the predicate. Predicate is, other than the subject, what is there? Other than the subject, what is there in the sentence is a predicate. But predicate also, there are three types, they say. Three types. One is simple predicate. Simple predicate is a Ram is a subject, that is subject. Rest of it, whichever I put right mark here, is a predicate. See here, he is preparing, I put that right mark only for is preparing, that is verb only. Dinner not included. So therefore this is called simple predicate. Only the verb is mentioned. Verb is put right mark. Another is compound predicate. Compound. Compound is compound sentences. The conjunction and. The conjunctions come in between. That means there are two sentences in that. So this is he is a subject, and did homework, watched TV, and is a conjunction, therefore that's not included in the predicate. So that's called compound predicate. Third one, complete predicate. Complete. Complete means everything is included except the subject. So therefore we usually take the last. Sentence contains subject and predicate, means we think we take a subject one. Rest of the sentence is a predicate, including the verb. So therefore this is understanding about the subject and predicate. I think I am making myself clear to you. Subject and predicate. Okay. Now when we speak a sentence or a language, there are parts. There are parts. We say, for example, cycle. Whole thing is called cycle. But you take away the pieces, certain pieces, there are parts in that. Only assembled thing is called a cycle, full cycle. So there are parts assembled together in a cycle. Likewise in a sentence also, there are parts, different parts. So what are those parts? Only when some parts put together, we have sentence. Without those parts, sentence is not possible. So what are those parts? To make it very easy for us to know, I put this order. There is an order like this I put, but while studying, we will take different order. Nap, cap, V. Nap, cap, V. Is easy to understand, anybody? Nap, cap, V. First letter. Nap, cap, V. N stands for noun. A stands for adverb. P stands for pronoun. C stands for conjunction. Another A stands for adjective. Another P stands for preposition. V stands for verb. I stands for interjection. So in order to learn by heart, I have put this order. Nap, cap, V. Anybody? Okay, NAP, NAP, CAP, VI. You know immediately all parts of speech by heart. I added one more here, last one, A. It's an article. We have studied articles. So that also, articles also, they say is a part of speech. But it's not included actually, but they say today, grammarians say today, articles also is a part of, or are part of the parts of speech. So that way, if you consider there are 9, otherwise there are main 8 parts of speech. So these, some of the parts put together, we have a sentence. In any sentence you'll find 1, 3 or 2 or 5 or whatever, some parts are there, then that becomes a sentence. Now our challenge is, as students, our challenge is, if a given statement, given sentence, you have to dissect, as we do in the lab. You dissect. Biology lab or any other, you dissect and say this is what, this is what, this is what. This is a word and this is noun. This is a word, this is an adjective. This is a word, this is an adverb. This is an article. This is a preposition. You need to know that. Dissect the sentence and say this is what, this, you name the parts. If you come to that level, that means you understood this whole parts of speech. Now, each one you have to go. Articles already done. Now, each one, 8 parts of speech you have to go individually. Yes. Now, here, noun you have taken here. First is noun. Now, when you say noun, there are many types. Main parts are here. 7, you put there. First is proper noun. Proper noun is nothing but places and persons. Things are, persons, places, things, idea, whatever, they come under nouns. Now, proper comes places and persons. Places can be Bangalore, Mysore, Paranagarara, whatever the place. Persons are our names. Perfect. Personal names. So their names, all come under proper nouns. Our names, place name, and our own names. For that matter, you just close your eyes and open the eyes. Close your eyes, open. Whatever you see, they're all nouns. Whatever you close the eyes and open, you see, whatever you see, nouns. Because you give a name for that. Now, you see, there's a chair, you see door, you see lock, whatever, naming thing. Sometimes some things are not visible, but still they are. You can name them. Some things are not visible. They cannot be seen by us naked eyes. They are all nouns only. Qualities, for example, qualities. We cannot see them, but they are there. But you give a quality. What is the quality? Good is the quality. Good. You can't see goodness, but it's a noun. Goodness you can't see, but it's a noun because you name it. This is goodness. This is laziness. You name it. So whatever things you name, they are all nouns. Now I said proper noun, places and persons. Then there is one more collective noun. Collection of things. Army. In army there is not one person. Group put together. But army, we don't say. Army is the singular. Yes. Though there are many. So such things are called collective nouns. Examples there are plenty, but few examples. Army, audience, team, flock, etc. Flock of birds, for example, group of birds. That's a collective noun. One more is common noun. Common noun divided into 2. Countable, uncountable. Some things are countable, some things are not countable. For example, countable, pen, book, cat, bed, etc. They are countable. You can count 1 bed, 2 bed, 3 beds, like that. And usually they take plural also. You can make them plural. Countable nouns. But they are all common. Common, for example, when you say cat, it's a common noun. Whole cat family. Any cat for that matter. That's called cat. Cow, for example. Whole cow family is cow. Woman. All women. Family of women called woman. So there's it's a common term for that. Womanhood is a common term. Likewise, cat, etc. These are all common nouns, but in that they are countable. They can be counted, some of them. Some of them uncountable. Sugar, can you count the sugar? Can't. Sand, you can't. Then milk, you can't. Water, you can't. Bread, no. You can't count that. But can you say breads? I bought 2 breads. Sometimes we use breads. So there is a slight distinction. If, for example, ragi bread and wheat bread, there are 2 types of breads then. Bread can be prepared by 2 or 3 substances. We do not know. That case we can say breads in that sense. But in general we don't have plural for these uncountable nouns. Even they say waters. They say waters. Is a common, is a uncountable, but still they use waters if they specifically mention. For example, Arabian waters, they say Arabian specifically if they mention, that sense they may use waters. But in general, water is uncountable. Instead of that, we say breads we can't say, but we can say loaves of bread. Loaves of bread. Loaves of bread. Bread is always in the singular. Uncountable always in the singular, supposed to be. Loaves of bread or slices of bread. Slices of bread. There we use the plural, slices, loaves. But bread cannot be plural. But in some circumstances we may use plural for uncountable too. There is an exception made in some places. Next is compound noun. Compound means there are 2 nouns coming together sometime. Blackboard, the compound. Compound noun. Sunlight, 2. Then grandfather, son-in-law, mother-in-law. You use many words like that, son-in-law, mother-in-law. All that words also, they are compound nouns. The next is abstract. That's what I said. Some of the nouns you open, you can see. Some of them you can't see. They are called abstract. Abstract. But sometimes they are derived from maybe verb, maybe noun, whatever. Kindness. Because kind is an adjective. We'll see in the adjective next class. Kind is an adjective. From there they form a noun, kindness. Usually ness, whenever there is a ness for a word, ness. Selfishness. Ness. You can give some example for ness, N-E-S-S. Happiness. Whenever a word ends with ness, they are usually, most of the time, oftener, they are abstract nouns. Then kindness, obedience. Obey is a verb. Obedience has come from that. It's a noun, obedience. Can you see obedience? You can't see. It's not perceivable to the 5 senses. 5 ಇಂದ್ರಿಯಗಳಿಗೆ ಅದು ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು abstract ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು. Okay, then slavery. Slave is a noun. Slavery, abstract noun. Slave can be countable noun, uncountable noun. Can be in both the places it is, but it also can be slavery, can be abstract noun. Childhood. Child is a common noun. Child. From there we have childhood, abstract noun. So from another noun we have another noun also possible. From one noun, another noun is possible like that. Freedom. Can you see freedom? You can't see freedom. But freedom is an abstract noun. Darkness. We said darkness. Ness has come there. We see darkness, is it? We are in darkness, that's all. Absence of light it is. Darkness we can't see. It is a state where there is no light. So therefore, such things are considered to be the abstract nouns. Abstract. Then there is verbal noun. Verbal noun. Verbal noun is acting is his hobby. For example, I have written a sentence. Acting is his hobby. Now see here, act is actually a verb. The verb agide act. Read, for example, reading is his hobby. And then now reading is his hobby. ನಾವು ರೀಡ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ವರ್ಬ್. ವರ್ಬ್ನಿಂದ ನಾವು ಐ ಎನ್ ಜಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಈಗ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಐ ಎನ್ ಜಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಆದರೆ ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪಿಂಗ್ ವರ್ಬ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. There is a helping verb with that. She is reading. That cannot be a noun. Reading only. Is reading ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. That's a part of the verb. But there is no is. There is nothing here. Is comes later here. Acting is. Therefore, though this is a verb word, act is a verb word. It can function as a noun in a sentence. Verb word functioning as a noun. That's called verbal noun. It's also called gerund. Now there is a big chapter on gerund. Gerund itself can be entire another class. What is gerund? How gerunds are formed? But nothing but gerund is nothing but verb noun is called gerund. So sometimes this verb noun is acting as a noun in sentences. So that's why it's called verbal noun. That's also one type. Then material noun. Material. For example, silver, gold, copper, etc. There are material from which they prepare things. Those things can be in the common, etc. Chair, for example, made of wood. Wood is a material. So, in order to make a distinction, we have made this so many things. Some things can be combined, and specifically to go, we make this type of distinctions here. Otherwise, they can be combined into main 2, 3, 4 only. So, for better knowledge, we have divided like this, and we are studying them. So, this is what all about the nouns. I think we have understood this chapter today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.